nerve supply of the soft palate. It is the motor supply and it is the sensory supply. First of all, the motor supply. All the muscles of the soft palate are supplied by the cranial root of the accessory nerve through the pharyngeal branch of the vagus nerve, or can say it is the pharyngeal plexus. Same like the pharynx. In the pharynx, all the muscles are supplied by this cranial root of the accessory nerve through the pharyngeal plexus or pharyngeal branch of the vagus nerve, except only one muscles in the pharynx, and here also there is only except one muscles, that is the tensor veli palatini. This tensor veli palatini is supplied by nerve to medial pterygoid. Nerve to medial pterygoid. This nerve to medial pterygoid, it is a direct branch of the mandibular nerve, and this nerve to medial pterygoid supply the three muscles generally asked in the examination. It is the medial pterygoid muscles, which is the muscles of the mastications, as well as it is the tensor veli palatini, muscles of the soft palate, and one muscles, it is the tensor tympani. The tensor tympani muscles in the middle ear, because these three muscles are derived from the first pharyngeal arch, and the mandibular nerve is the nerve of the first pharyngeal arch. Now the secretomotor fibers. We have discussed earlier, the oral surface of the soft palate has the glands. If the gland present, there is a secretion, mucous secretion. Now this is the pathway of the secretion of these glands of the soft palate. It is controlled by the facial nerve. It is the seventh cranial nerve, facial nerve. It is the nucleus. If you remember the facial nerve, it is the superior salivatory nucleus. Then the fibers goes through the nervus intermedius. What is nervus intermedius? Think. From the nervus intermedius, it is the facial nerve. From the facial nerve, it is a branch of the facial nerve, that is the greater petrosal nerve, GPN. It is the greater petrosal nerve. Then greater petrosal nerve unites with another nerve and form the nerve of the pterygoid canal, and that relay to the ganglion that is present in the pterygopalatine fossa, and the ganglion is the pterygopalatine ganglion. So these are the pre-ganglionic fibers relay to the parasympathetic ganglion, that is the pterygopalatine ganglion, and this ganglion is topographically related with the maxillary nerve. So it is the branch of the maxillary nerve, that is the palatine nerve, greater palatine as well as the lesser palatine nerve. The greater palatine is concerned with the hard palate, supply the glands of the hard palate, while the lesser palatine concerned with the glands of the soft palate. So it is the lesser palatine nerve. What is the lesser palatine? It is the branch of the maxillary nerve through this ganglion, and this supply the glands of the soft palate. So that is how the glands are controlled by this facial nerve. Now the sensory supply. Two types of sensation. It is the general sensation and the spatial sensation. General sensation concerned with the touch, pain and the temperature. It is the lesser palatine nerve. Means lesser palatine, it is a mixed nerve, motor as well as the sensory. And by this general sensation, some part by the glossopharyngeal nerve, that is the ninth cranial nerve. So general sensation of the soft palate is carried by the two nerves. It is the by lesser palatine nerve, branch of the maxillary nerve, and by the glossopharyngeal nerve. It is the ninth cranial nerve. Now the spatial sensation. Spatial sensation, it is the taste sensation. On the oral surface of the soft palate, few taste buds are also present. And this taste sensation ultimately goes to the nucleus tractus solitarius. And this taste sensation carried by this lesser palatine nerve, just reverse it. Lesser palatine passes through the ganglion without delay through this. Ultimately, from nervous intermediates, it is the nucleus tractus solitarius. Nucleus is changed. It is not superior salivatory, it is the nucleus tractus solitarius, concerned with the taste sensation, and also by this glossopharyngeal nerve, which carry the general sensation, also carry the spatial sensation, and ultimately these fibers relay to the nucleus tractus solitarius. Now the arterial supply, venous supply and the lymphatic drainage of the soft palate. This is the arterial supply. The chief artery, it is the palatine branch of the maxillary artery. The maxillary artery, one of the terminal branch of the external carotid artery, and the branch of its third part, that is the greater and the lesser palatine branches, supply the great hard palate as well as the soft palate. Then it is the palatine branch of the ascending pharyngeal artery. The ascending pharyngeal artery, it itself branch of the external carotid artery. Then it is a branch of the ascending palatine artery. This ascending palatine artery, it is a branch of the facial artery. So these are the chief artery that supply the soft palate. Now the venous supply, it forms the pharyngeal plexus of veins like the pharynx, and this pharyngeal plexus ultimately drains into the internal jugular vein. Lymphatics from the soft palate drains into the retropharyngeal group of the lymph nodes, and this retropharyngeal group of the lymph nodes drains into the deep cervical group of the lymph nodes, that is the jugulo-digestic as well as the jugulo-omoid group of the lymph node. Sometimes the lymphatics directly drains into this deep cervical group of the lymph node. So it is the arterial supply, venous supply and the lymphatics of the soft palate. कितना बचा? Now the right aspect of the soft palate. The paralysis of the soft palate occurs due to the injury of the vagus nerve as well as the vascular injury to the nucleus ambiguus. This nucleus ambiguus, it is present in the medulla oblongata, and this nucleus of ambiguus, it is the nucleus 9th, 10th and the 11th. These three cranial nerves combined, it is the nucleus ambiguus. So if the lesion occurs at this point, or if the vagus nerve only damages, this leads to the paralysis of the soft palate. Now we know this soft palate acts as a curtain between the nasopharynx and the oropharynx. It controls the nasopharyngeal isthmus. So, as a result of the paralysis of the soft palate, it is the nasal regurgitation of the food during the swallowing. Normally the food from the oral cavity goes to the oropharynx, then laryngopharynx. But if the nasopharyngeal isthmus does not close, the food enters into the nasal cavity, and this is the nasal regurgitations due to the loss of action of this soft palate. Then it is the nasal twang in the voice. The soft palate has a role for the resonance of the sound. So if there is paralysis of the soft palate, there is a nasal twang in the voice. It is the flattening of the palatal arch on the affected side, on the side of the lesion. The palatoglossal and the palatopharyngeal arch becomes the flat. It will not prominent and it is present on the affected side, means that side where the lesion occurs. And uvula, the conical projection that is present in the midline, it is deviated to the normal side, or we can say uvula is deviated opposite to the affected side in case of the paralysis of the soft palate. And these 4 tests are also done to test the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve, that is the 10th cranial nerve. These features indicate the injury of this vagus nerve. This is about the soft palate. Thank you very much.